Are you ready to strengthen your mind and find inner peace? In this video, we will explore 10 tough truths that may challenge your perceptions, but ultimately lead you to a path of self-discovery and mental fortitude. Lesson 1. Avoid enemies. Understanding the adversaries that reside both within and outside of us is among the first and most crucial lessons in mental fortification. According to Buddhist teachings, the true threat often comes from inside. External enemies are not the only enemies we must contend with. Anger, envy, greed, and delusion are examples of internal foes that can cause considerably more damage than any potential exterior foe. Clinging to negative emotions weakens the intellect and impairs judgment, according to teachings from the Buddha. Consider these feelings as poisoning your mind. It's like swallowing poison and expecting someone else to suffer when we hold on to our anger. These adversaries obstruct our perception of reality, leaving us open to pain. There will always be external enemies, such as those who wish to hurt or disparage us. Buddhism encourages us to practice compassion and mindfulness instead of reacting with wrath or retaliation. These adversaries frequently experience pain themselves, and their deeds are a manifestation of these inner conflicts. By admitting this, we disarm them with compassion while simultaneously preserving our mental health. Take care not to let oneself get too comfortable or apathetic. Being indifferent to situations is not the same as letting them walk all over you. Buddhism encourages intelligent action as opposed to passivity. A truly powerful intellect knows when to give up and when to take calm, calculated action to defend oneself. Internal enemies will destroy you, while external adversaries may injure you. Before concentrating on the exterior enemies, fortify your mind by admitting both and acting to vanquish the inside ones. Lesson 2. Acknowledge your mistakes. While mistakes are unavoidable, our response to them shapes who we are as people. In Buddhism, mistakes and mishaps are viewed as chances for development and education, rather than as indicators of failure. The Buddha himself had to go through years of trial and error before reaching enlightenment. All too frequently, people let remorse, humiliation, and guilt cause them to wallow in their mistakes. However, clinging to these feelings simply makes the pain worse. Buddhism has a potent idea called impermanence, which tells us that nothing is everlasting, not even our mistakes or our failures or accomplishments. We can break free from the shackles of the past if we really get this. This does not imply that you should accept responsibility for your mistakes or ignore them. Buddhism, on the other hand, places great emphasis on accepting responsibility for your errors. However, rather than criticizing yourself, see your mistakes as opportunities to grow and improve. Errors are a necessary element of the learning process that leads to enlightenment. Embracing your mistakes and turning them into insightful lessons is a key component of mental strength. You will discover that mistakes no longer have the ability to break you once you learn to embrace the fact that every setback is an opportunity to improve. Lesson 3. Ask about rumors. We hurt other people when we gossip, disseminating untruths or rumors. More crucial, though, is that we damage ourselves when we indulge in negativity and erode our own moral character. A mind that feeds off gossip is a mind that gets easily sidetracked and lured into unimportant things, which keeps it from concentrating on the things that really count, like inner serenity and personal development. It can even be detrimental to listen to gossip. Our thoughts and perceptions become tarnished when we give in to the unfavorable comments of others. Instead of developing our own beliefs based on first-hand experience, we begin to view others through a distorted lens that is fashioned by the prejudices and judgments of others. Rejecting gossip helps you clear your head and foster an atmosphere of mutual respect and trust in your interactions. A strong intellect is unaffected by idle chatter and stays committed to compassion and the truth. Lesson 4. Self-respect. A strong sense of self-worth is essential for mental toughness, but a lot of people suffer from poor self-esteem and feelings of inadequacy. Buddhism holds that realizing your intrinsic worth as a human being is the source of self-worth, rather than relying on material success, fortune, or social standing. Every individual has the capacity for awakening and enlightenment, which is known as Buddha nature, and this in itself is sufficient to validate your value. According to the Buddha, comparing oneself to other people is the root of a lot of our suffering. We feel inadequate when we consider what others have. Envy, insecurity, and a never-ending sense of discontent are fostered by this comparison. You have to learn to break out from this comparison loop if you want to fortify your mind. Consider valuing your inner attributes, such as kindness, wisdom, compassion, and integrity, rather than your worth in relation to outside circumstances. These are the real indicators of worth, and you cannot have them taken away from you. If you work on these traits, you'll eventually learn to value yourself. Buddhism emphasizes the value of self-compassion at the same time. Treat yourself with kindness, particularly when you make errors or don't live up to your own expectations. Treat yourself with the same compassion that you would show a friend in distress. It is not what you accomplish that makes you deserving of love and respect, but rather who you are. Self-worth is not about conceit or ego. It all comes down to accepting your own worth and treating yourself with the same kindness that you show to other people. When you genuinely appreciate who you are, you won't go to other people for approval. Your mental toughness and resilience will increase, firmly rooted in an unwavering sense of your own value. Lesson 5. Continue to be proud. Pride is frequently viewed as a bad feeling that is connected to conceit and haughtiness. However, there is a constructive kind of pride in Buddhism that arises from realizing your own abilities, accomplishments, and advancement on the path to self-improvement. This kind of pride comes from appreciating your own work and taking pride in your own development, rather than from thinking you're better than other people. The Buddha exhorted his disciples to be proud of their self-control, awareness, and compassion. These are admirable traits that come from hard work and ought to be acknowledged. Take a time to recognize your efforts as you advance in your spiritual journey, be it via kindness, wisdom, or meditation. This will reaffirm your dedication to the route and provide you with the courage to press on. Achieving a balance between humility and pride is crucial. Buddhism forbids you from attaching too much value to your accomplishments or utilizing them to stroke your ego. A strong mind is one that is able to celebrate its successes without being carried away by them. Genuine pride originates from within, not from outside approval. Remain proud of the person you are growing into, and allow that pride to drive your future development. But never forget that the voyage never ends. There's always more to do better at, more to learn, and more ways to help people. This healthy attitude toward pride will support you in keeping a sharp, modest mind that is committed to ongoing self-improvement. Lesson 6. Choose your own route. Self-reliance is a notion found in Buddhism. The Buddha is credited as saying, "Be a lamp unto yourself," which means that you have to be in charge of your own spiritual development. Nobody else is capable of walking your road. This is a frightening yet freeing reality. Yet it is necessary to build mental toughness. To fully own your path is to acknowledge and take complete responsibility for your ideas, deeds, and choices. It entails realizing that although outside events could have an impact on your life, you ultimately decide how you will react to them. Having a sense of ownership gives you the ability to control your own future, as opposed to being the helpless victim of your environment. Owning your path, however, calls for bravery. It entails maintaining your integrity and morals in the face of criticism or disagreement from others. Buddhism asserts that enlightenment is frequently attained by solitary means. There will be moments when you have to go it alone, without other people's blessing or encouragement. However, it is during these times that you will find your inner resilience and power. You can break away from the desire for approval from others by taking ownership of your journey. You begin living in accordance with your own truth and cease looking to others for approval. This is the basis of a robust intellect, one that is self-sufficient, autonomous, and unflinching in its quest for knowledge and empathy. Lesson 7. Exhibit fortitude. Buddhism views strength as something other than physical dominance or authority over others. It is about having inner fortitude, or the capacity to handle hardship with composure, kindness, and awareness. True strength, according to the Buddha, arises from managing your own mind rather than the environment around you. Standing your ground under pressure is one of the best ways to show off your strength. Most people react with fear, wrath, or irritation when faced with challenges. However, a strong mind is one that can maintain composure even in the face of disorder. This calls for mindfulness, which is the ability to be conscious of your thoughts and feelings without letting them control you. The capacity for compassion, especially toward those who might hurt or offend you, is another mark of strength. Buddhism holds that all beings are related to one another and that our own suffering is eventually correlated with that of others. You may break the cycle of hatred and fortify your own mind by reacting to damage with compassion and understanding. Perseverance is the foundation of strength. The journey towards enlightenment is arduous and fraught with difficulties and disappointments. A strong intellect, however, never gives up. It keeps going despite obstacles because it knows that each step gets it one step closer to wisdom and tranquility. By controlling your thoughts, reacting with empathy, and enduring hardship, you can demonstrate strength. This is the power that will help you overcome obstacles in life and move toward real freedom. Lesson 8. Not all people will get it. Accepting the fact that not everyone will comprehend or value your path is among the most difficult realities to face. When this comes from individuals you love and care about, it can be quite hurtful. However, Buddhism teaches us that everyone is following their own path, and it is not our place to judge or coerce others into accepting ours. The Buddha took up this task on his own. A lot of individuals misinterpreted his message or rejected his teachings. That didn't stop him from following his course, though. He let others go on their own path while he kept teaching those who were willing to listen. Likewise, you have to acknowledge that not everybody will agree with your decisions, morals, or worldview. This in no way diminishes the validity of your route. By releasing the desire for other people's acceptance, you may fortify your mind. Even if others do not recognize the importance in your route, have faith in your own understanding and keep going. Show empathy for someone who might not comprehend. Their lack of comprehension is a result of their own experiences and viewpoints, not of you. You can release yourself from the annoyance and bitterness that frequently surface when we believe we are misunderstood by accepting this. It's acceptable that not everyone will comprehend your experience. Continue on your road with compassion and assurance, knowing that you are right where you should be. Lesson 9. Set haters apart. Negativity and criticism are inevitable. There will always be people who attempt to undermine you, whether they come from complete strangers on the internet or loved ones. Buddhism says that these so-called haters frequently act out of their own pain and fears. They don't know how to handle their anguish within, so they project it onto other people. You may safeguard your mental health and keep their anger from hurting you by avoiding bigots. This does not imply that you should never defend yourself, but rather that you should pick your conflicts carefully. A sound intellect understands when to say something and when to say nothing at all. Show compassion for those who despise you in addition to ignoring them. Understand that their negativity is a mirror of their own internal conflict. You can stop the vicious circle of negativity and preserve your own mental fortitude by answering politely or by just turning away. Haters should be ignored out of compassion and intelligence, not out of fear or avoidance. This is how you shield your psyche from needless pain. Lesson 10. Exercise caution. Buddhism emphasizes the value of awareness and caution in all facets of life. A powerful mind is conscious of its thoughts, behaviors, and environment. It considers the ramifications of its actions carefully before acting, neither rushing into conclusions nor reacting hastily. You should exercise caution when it comes to the people you associate with. Buddhism says that the people we spend time with have a big impact on us. Keep yourself surrounded with positive, growth-oriented, and value-abiding individuals. To safeguard your mental well-being, avoid those who bring negativity into your life and establish appropriate boundaries. A aware mind, not an anxious one, is what is meant to be cautious. It ensures that every action it performs is in line with its greatest principles by acting with discernment, caution, and awareness. Although accepting these 10 hard facts isn't always simple, doing so is essential to growing a resilient and strong mind. Buddhism holds that developing mental strength is more about managing your own thoughts than it is about exerting control over the outside world. You may develop a mind that is unflappable in the face of obstacles in life by accepting these truths. Acknowledging your inner enemies, accepting responsibility for your actions, appreciating who you are, and engaging in acts of kindness. Recall that developing mental toughness is a lifetime process. It calls for endurance, mindfulness, and patience. But as you go, you'll see that you're becoming more confident, wiser, and at peace with yourself. Accept these facts and allow them to direct you toward a life that is more compassionate, wise, and strong.